Sup, my big stones? Hope y'all are having a chill day. If not, sit down, spark up, eat, and enjoy this video. We've all had a stoner phase in high school, which really implies us doing the inevitable. Pulling up to school high as which really is the story I'll be telling y'all today. It all happened a while back when I was still in high school, I was like 15, 16 years old, it was just peak degenerate days, like just peak having fun, reefing it up, just getting in trouble. Y'all know the deal. It was a normal day, I just woke up, gooned, or did whatever, I don't know. On my ride to school, I contemplated whether or not I would skip, and, well, once I eventually got there, I just kind of chilled at my locker, just kind of waiting for my classes to start. I just arrived at my locker just like any other day until one of my close friends, let's call him like Stones, just referring to him because I'm going to be mentioning him for like the rest of my videos. Like, he is my top degenerate friend, like just the biggest stoner to ever live. You see, we all have a friend like Stones, the type of kid that pulls up to school high out of his mind 24/7, the type of kid that's always getting in trouble, the type of kid that's always making the dumbest decision, which today was one of those cases. He pulls up to my locker and whispers in my ear, "Yo, bro, look what I got this morning," with the cheekiest smile I've ever seen this man have. Like, man just looked like some seductive guru, just smiling at me and whispering in my ear. Like, I don't know if I had to be turned on or scared, man. Anyways, he opened his backpack and immediately the smell just hits me like an uppercut. Smelled like pure dank, man. My boy just had a half zip just chilling there. Like, the whole hallway knew as soon as he opened his backpack, everyone turned their heads, man. I swear, like, everyone was just like, yup, someone brought some pure dank in here. Anyways, he tells me that like at lunchtime, a large sum of our friends from like different schools were meeting up near our like a church nearby our school to kind of like chief it up. Like, it was probably someone's birthday or like some special occasion that day, but like they were just ready to kind of party midday. So, obviously I was looking forward to it. Like, I was at school. I was already contemplating on skipping or not. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, yeah, I want to do some shenanigans. So I wait for like the first three classes of the day to kind of like pass by. I'm just doing mathematics or history or some other boring class that I don't really care about until I hear the holy bell just ring. I swear, as soon as that bell rang, I just packed my stuff, went directly to my locker, just like prepared myself and ran outside, yo, just sprinted. Now we kind of like pull up at the church, and like our lunchtime was like around an hour, and like after that hour we had like an additional 15 minutes kind of like to get ready for classes. So like our lunchtime was technically an hour and 15 minutes long, but that 15 minutes we were supposed to be in school. So, we were just like, I had that in mind, right? I was like, I have this whole time to kind of chief as fast as I can so I can sober up as fast as I can before I pull up to school. So we start chiefing like 5 minutes into the lunch break. We're just having a good time. We're all laughing, all partying, all just like chiefing it up. Just like, when I say having a good time, like we were straight up just having a blast. Like, it felt like a Friday weekend party, but just at school. Like it shouldn't be a thing, but it was, and I was all in there for it until we hear our bell go off like in the distance because the church was still pretty close to our school. So my friends and I, we all just look at each other in a panic. Like, we've been chiefing. We're like, when I say hella geeked, like we were hella fried. Like, I looked like a Chinese man. My friend Stone's already Chinese, man. He looks even more Asian. Like, I swear, we were geeked. Now the paranoia kicks in. We're like, are we skipping and getting into more trouble, or do we just make a book for it, run to school, and try to sneak our way to classes even though we're late? we choose option 2, option B. We just run to school. We kind of try to find an entry point from the back where we could sneak into school. All of the doors are locked. The only door that was unlocked at that time was the main school entry, which is right in front of the dean's office. So obviously we go in, right? We try to sneak past the dean's office, but I swear, like our first mistake, man. Our first mistake was not checking our time. The second mistake was walking in through that door. At that point, we should have just skipped the whole afternoon, man. Like we should have just skipped it. I didn't want to go back to school geeked out of my mind. I didn't want to look like a baked potato in front of all the teachers. Man, I didn't want them to have that image of me. So, we just kind of like really sneak by the dean's office, and we're getting pretty far into the hallway. We're like, "Oh man, we made it." We're all kind of like smiling, and until we hear, "Hey, yeah, guys." Just like every other of my stories, right when we think we're getting away with something, we realize that really we're not that slick with it. It was the dean. He was kind of not yelling after us, but trying to talk to us, reach us from like afar. So we all kind of stop and look at him, and he just starts talking to us like, "Hey, y'all shouldn't be late, yada yada yada." Like nothing really important. He was actually pretty chill that day, so he was just kind of like, "I don't want to get y'all in trouble, so try to make it to class as soon as you can, and next time I don't want to see y'all like coming in when the bell rings." You feel me? Like he's just like, "Yeah, get to class, you slackers." Like, smarten up. So we're all like, "Oh, all right." We could have been in bigger trouble. Like we could have been in actual trouble. So we're about to head off, right? We all start feeling again pretty prideful, pretty like, "Ah, yo, he just want to tell us that, right? We're not getting into trouble. Fine, this shit, like we're just totally fucking fine." And my friends start to leave, and as soon as they start to leave, the dean catches me. He's like, "Hey, but Jay, I need to speak with you a minute." I shat my heart right on my asshole. That's what I'm saying. Like, ah, man, I got so discouraged. Like, I probably looked so sad and so dumb. So, I just kind of like waddle, do like some weird penguin waddle to him, because I probably shat myself. I was so paranoid. And, I kind of follow him to his office. He makes me sit down, and he hits me with the, "Where were you at lunchtime?" Which I was confused why he was asking me that question, because like I'm not a convicted felon, so why is he trying to trap me? And then I'm like, "Oh, I was out chilling with the guys, like what do you think?" And he's like, "Yeah, you remember you had detention, right? Your teacher gave you detention yesterday." And as soon as he mentioned that detention, I got hella disappointed. Cause my school, I don't know about y'all school, but my school took detention really seriously. Like you skipped it once, you had like 2, 3, or even a week's a week's full of detention after that. Like I'm not joking. And if you skipped it a few times, you just got suspended. So I'm just kind of there, and I'm like excusing myself. I'm like, "Yeah, sir, it's really out of character. Like I'm sorry, even though I've already skipped detention before." I'm like, "It won't happen again." I'm just trying to soften it up. I'm just trying to look as good as I can, because I'm really geeked out of my mind. Like at this point, I don't care that I skipped detention. I just care that I skipped detention while I was geeked, so now it's like a double whammy for him to put me in trouble. And he hits me with the, "Since you skipped detention, I'm afraid I'll have to give you 2 more just to really reinforce the punishment. If you don't go to those 2, I'm afraid I'll have to hit you with a suspension." And I've never got suspended in my life, like I didn't care about detention, but suspension, even though if it's like a holiday, I didn't want to take the risk with my parents. And same thing, like at my school, they had a countermeasure to suspension. Most of the time when you got suspended, you got an in-school suspension. So like that sucks. You're like trapped in a small room with sometimes a shitty teacher for like a week's worth, and you just can't go outside, you can't have fun, you can't do anything. It literally feels like prison. So I just take it like a man, and I'm just like, "Yeah, it's cool, just I'm waiting for him to dismiss me, because I really don't want him to see that I'm geeked out of my mind. You know, I'm just trying to get out of his office as soon as I can. And right when he disses me, what? Right when he dismisses me, he kind of says his last ending quote. You know, just a real nice impact on me. He tells me, "Oh yeah, and next time you think of, skipping detention and having to confront me, make sure you don't smell or look high, 'cause, I can expel you for that." My jaw dropped. Like, I was speechless. I didn't know. I didn't tell him, like, "Oh, I'm not high," or I didn't tell him, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir." I just didn't say anything. I turned around as fast as I can. I probably became all red, and I just, like, I remember I kind of, like, looked down and just slowly walked to my locker at the end of the school, and I was just really, like, disappointed with myself. I didn't think I looked that geeked. I knew I looked geeked. Not I didn't think I smelled geeked, and I didn't think I looked that much like a baked potato, you know. So yeah, like, luckily the dean was pretty chill with me that day, and luckily he only talked to me, and, like, he didn't talk to my friends that were carrying, like, bongs and, whole zips worth of that Zaza, you know. So yeah, it's really a silly little story, and if y'all have some similar stories, just drop it down in the comments. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. Share it to other people. Just watch it to the end. I don't know, just do something so it can get on other people's feeds, and I hope y'all have a beautiful day.